We're getting it ready. We're getting it ready. It's gonna be a temporary setting. I think this will be good. Here we go. Boom, off the cuff. We're moving in. We're going in. Okay, can I see myself? I can see myself. Cool. Bring this in real quick. This is a little bit different, but what do I feel like? Like Sinatra in his last show. It was a very good year. Oh God, turn off my phone. This is very unprofessional. You might see this video starting off differently than usual. Before we get into the final machinations of all this, you know, including the raffle and the video, and then just the rest of the final episode of season 2 and all that, I wanted to just say thank you. This all looks different because this is normally, if you're a long-time watcher of my channel, I know it's been a minute since I posted a movie review, behind because I've been busy with reaction content, everything else, but this is normally where we do it, where I do it rather, where we have our conversation. But in case you can't see or notice, everything's being packed up because getting ready for a big move. My partner and I are taking the next step. We found a place that we love, and it's a place that we, you know, both of us are artists and, you know, these creative, passionate creatives, whatever you want to say. All I had to say, I'll actually have, instead of having to just, you know, shoot here and shoot there in the corner of my bedroom and whatnot, I'm actually going to have a dedicated studio space where, you know, can make the reaction content in there. Still probably make movie reviews by a media shelf in my living or dining room or what have you. It's always how it goes, but we're packing everything up. This is the last video that I've made and will post that's been like made in the current home that I'm in. So when Interview with a Vampire season 3 comes, if you're sticking around for the rest of my dark reaction series or any other content that I make and produce in the future, you know, if you're just here for Interview with the Vampire, completely understand. I don't fault you for it. I hope you had a good time and a good stay. I've appreciated your patronage, your support, watching the videos. We have a good time here on the MovieMan channel. I hope, it seems. But if this is where we depart ways, you know, namaste, Mariska Hargitay. It's been real. It's been fun. But all that just kind of making this just to say thank you because in large part due to the support I've received from you guys here on YouTube and also Patreon, you know, I have a full-time job that keeps the roof over my head and food in this progressively ever-growing belly. But due to the patronage of people like you at home, it's making it a lot easier for me to be able to get a place with my partner that I can go and live a happy life and make more content and be creative. So, in no small part due to, you know, your support, your generosity, I'm just saying thank you. Like, you watching the content, supporting this channel is helping me keep on living towards this goal that I have, this dream, and, you know, this building this community. Like I always say, at the end of the day, even if I only had a small contingent of people that were sticking around and watching the content, that'd be enough. But no, with especially with this series in particular, I've seen exponential growth on my channel, and viewership is increased, and the support is there, and I'm yapping right now. This whole video is going to be a 2-hour yapathon. I warn you now. Like, abandon all hope, ye who enter. You're gonna, if you want this, you're about to get all of it. This is the final episode, the final reaction. We're gonna do the raffle, give some stuff away. I've already shipped out most of it, I think. We're gonna talk a lot. We're gonna see some season 3 Comic-Con teaser videos, and because of popular request, there will also be reaction videos to behind the scenes videos, blooper videos. If it has to do with Interview avec le Vampire, you can bet your sweet candy ass we're gonna watch it. We're gonna get around to it. And yes, I think for giggles, for the funsies, I will also be watching the Interview with the Vampire movie that also came out to do a fun little compare and contrast. So something tells me it's not going to quite measure up, but I'll watch it. I will be, I'll try to get around to the spin-off shows as well if I have time. What more is there to say? Thank you guys and gals so much for watching, and now here we actually hop into the actual Interview with the Vampire video, but I wanted to record one final goodbye from this little corner of my world, and just, yeah, thank you, love you, and here we go. And if I don't see you after this, it's been real. Goodbye. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video of whatever I make. But now for interview with the vampire. Bonjour, mes amis. Bienvenue dans ce nouvel interview avec le vampire. Merci d'avoir regardé. Never super duper clean, but we're there basically. Hello, travelers. Welcome to what is, he says, holding back the tears. What is only for now, because I think the new season's supposed to come out next year. Maybe I thought I heard somebody say next year. Maybe I misheard. But for now, I will be caught up with Interview with the Vampire. This is the finale for season 2. Again, if you're watching this on Patreon, you got it upwards of a week or even earlier, honestly. To everybody that's been supporting me on there, thank you very much. And before we get into the episode, so if you're watching on YouTube, I guess you can technically skip past this. This is the raffle. I'm going to announce the winners of the raffle I've been running for all of season 2. Thank you for the new followers. Appreciate the engagement. It's always great to grow the community and have us all talk with each other. A lot of you guys and gals and theys, et cetera, have expressed some very profound and emotional sentiments, both encouraging me and my story, but also being able to relate to your stories. So I'm glad that we can kind of connect on that platform as well. There might be a wave of unfollows after the raffle, but in any case, I have a solid list here, I think, of 36 contenders for the raffle. So I've got that. And then I'm going to go to this random number generator right here. Honestly, Google was the best way to do this. So I'm going to go from the third prize, second prize, and the number 1 prize. First prize in the raffle, Megan Funko Pop, the only one that exists so far, I think. Drumroll, please. Number 22, which is Mary Ann Drake 99. I guess I haven't already said it. I'll just be DMing everybody basically after this is all said and done. All the winners. Second place winner will be a Blu-ray complete set of the Mad Max High Octane collection. This includes all the OG Mad Max films, Mad Max, Road Warrior, Beyond Thunderdome, Fury Road on Blu-ray and 4K, as well as Mad Max Fury Road Black and Chrome Edition. Generate, please. Number 9, we have Lynn Spams. Lynn Spams. The first place winner, a copy of season 2 of Interview with the Vampire. Whether you prefer it to be digital, DVD, Blu-ray, I will DM you. You tell me. The winner of the final big boy, big girl prize is number 24, which is Place for All Things Nice. This was really fun to do. Obviously, I'm biased and I would like to grow my, social media following. But I do like the idea of just doing raffles and like giving back to the community. I won't get too much into this, but I will say I've been reading some comments on Patreon anyway. And it's so interesting that I'll have to make a separate video, like a live stream of sorts, where I actually go back through the 2 seasons, respond to comments, have it out. I promise I'm more responsive when it comes to comments, but I've been advised to avoid them until I'm caught up. And even then, like, there'll probably be some like bookheads that kind of ruin some stuff, which I get. It's a hazardous thing, but the finale has not been ruined for me. And if comments get a bit too beefy, I usually try to avoid them. And for the most part, people aren't really spoiling too much. But all that being said, I want to wait until I'm completely caught up before I reflect appropriately. I mean, no matter what you say about the show, right? I mean, this is one of the beautiful important things about it and its writing and its characters is that my opinions on these characters have greatly fluctuated a lot. And some opinions I expressed about characters, especially during the trial in the last episode, people will either agree, disagree, or even if you try to take a middle road, because there's even a moment where I was like, I'm not quite sure how to feel yet. I'm still processing. And someone was like,
well, how can you be processing? Like,
somebody was like, it's so interesting how people are scared to talk about how they feel. And it's like, don't get it twisted. I'm not fearful about look, after episode 1, I think you can tell I'm not fearful about I gave my opinion. I rolled back a couple things only insofar as I wanted to make sure my opinion wasn't being misconstrued. But for anybody who's been watching since episode 1, I make no secret of my opinions on characters. I admit hypocrisy, and also it can change based on just an episode. Other people have also come to my aid and agreed that it's very difficult oftentimes in this show. How do you even feel about some of these characters? How nobody, I think most people, there's kind of a general consensus about a lot of elements of all of this. This is a dangerous road to get down into. We've passed Thanksgiving by the time that I'm recording this, so I brought Nook the Crook out of Christmas storage. I wanted to get festive, though I feel like I'm going to regret this I'll probably be sweating by the end of this episode. Tonight we have a little bit of bullet bourbon. It's a little bit of liquid courage to face this final perilous hour. I don't think we've had an episode this long since the series premiere. I don't know. We will see. We had the unfortunate and dramatic trial of Claudia, Louis, and Madeline in the last episode. Kangaroo court, a hung jury, if you will, ended in, I mean, about as well as can be expected. I've never read the books, so I'll be honest, I was a little bit surprised. I figured that, maybe Madeline would bite it, but I'm both surprised and not surprised that Claudia didn't make it. It's a damn shame. It's a tragedy. You cry, I cry, we all cry. Where we last left off, the theater is about to be burnt down, I assume. Monsieur Lianco is here after taking the stand and giving his admittedly emotional and heartfelt apology. Still kind of up in the air about how I shouldn't say up in the air. I still condemn him for a lot of his actions, but it's hard not to like him as a character, and it's hard not to sympathize with certain elements of his plight. Louis has been entombed in stone in the basement, though I feel like either Lestat or even Armand might help. But Armand used all of his strength to get him, basically to have him not be killed right there on the spot. And then, of course, in modern day Dubai, I fear for Daniel Malloy. I don't know if he's going to get out of that situation alive or not. He still wants his book deal, but talking with Talamasca, I mean, he wants to get out of there with his life as well. I found out that real Rashid, it works for Talamasca and somehow is in the inner circle. Apparently, people that work for Talamasca have powers. It's a whole other thing. I don't know. Armand is growing very suspicious of Daniel and his comings and goings outside of the Dubai penthouse. And Louis is all over the place, going back and forth between, siding with Daniel after the San Francisco, little flashback, but can he be trusted? Like I said, there's so much to get into. I've been talking way too long, the longest intro yet. Let's just get into it. That's not Paris. That doesn't look like Paris to me. Where are we going? I mean, there's still Dubai down here, obviously, but I don't recognize that skyline unless that's supposed to be like the Kremlin or something. But that's a reach even for me. And that's the end of it. There's nothing else. We're about to hit the end of their book. Boy, oh boy, what a journey, huh? Tomb under the théâtre. Yep, I hear him. Yeah, I said let's burn this whole place down. Just, can you imagine? Entombed in dark and stone in your eyes, filling up your mouth. Not even a proper, nameplate. Just his name scratched.
Quiet, easeful death.
Isn't it the same one that Armando described in San Francisco? Trying to convince Daniel Malloy into a quiet, easeful death?
I had nowhere to go.
Damn.
No one to talk to. She was dead. I knew it. Claudia was dead. I could feel it, like I couldn't feel my hands, my back, like I could feel my heart pumping slower every night.
Multiple nights.
My broken arm resetting itself.
The trauma too,
My
man.
ankles healed in the coffin. The flesh having circled around the insulating rocks of my deathbed.
Are they still there? Right now? In your feet?
If you took an x-ray, they'd look like little cancers.
You could remove them anytime you wanted to.
He keeps them.
Or maybe he has, and he's been lying to you all these years for effect.
Ooh.
What were the consequences of you saving Louis?
Demotion. Ridicule. Santiago had suspected I had rigged the audience to spare Louis' life, So he made certain I would not forget my insubordination as part of my penance.
Darkness was delirium. I tried to paint alternatives.
Would he talk to him down there?
Lucid what ifs. Wear a different suit the night you meet Lestat at the fair play. Snatch the piece of candy back from the barber when you're 7 years old. Would I have been stronger sooner? Would I have resisted Lestat 2 decades later? Snatch the candy. Be the man in the different suit. But the suit changes nothing. And again, I'm kissing Lestat on the altar.
All
I'm
roads.
killing Lestat, but won't burn him. I'm dragged off stage and buried alive. Penny candy's not the answer. Claudia is dead. The worst nights were the pragmatic ones.
It's a dangerous path to go down, though. Hindsight is, I'm sure I've mentioned this before on the channel, but thanks to a gaming therapist, Dr. Mick on YouTube, and you can also find him on TikTok and whatnot, he has had some very insightful conversations regarding hindsight in life.
I think we all have that. It's okay to consider your past and consider the things that you would have done differently. But the thing that's always important to realize is that the only reason that you are thinking now that you wish you could have done something differently is because you were around to see the consequence of the decision you made. You have more information now than you had at the time that you made the decision you made. And so many of us unfairly beat ourselves up for that. Looking back to the past and trying to use hindsight to judge yourself is a fruitless endeavor, because all you're going to do is make yourself feel like. When you reflect on the past, you should reflect on why you made the decisions you made, and if it came from a limited amount of information, ask yourself where you can get better information. Use the consequences of the decisions you made to make better decisions now and in the future. There are certainly things that all of us regret, but we only regret them because we lived long enough to see the consequence of that decision, which means it is always an unfair proposition to consider going back and changing the past. You will never be able to change the past. You can only influence the future through how you navigate the present.
Not to say that you should live your life carefree, but regret-free, perhaps. Reminiscing in there, all he has is his healing, hurting body, just as he's permanently in this suspended state of agony. You know, you have a lot of time to think to yourself as well, and you would think, is there anything I could have done differently that would have altered my path or put me down something else? But some things, you know, whether you subscribe to fate or destiny or what have you, I mean, sure, then you could say, well, no, this was always how it was meant to be. But I mean, I think he came to the same conclusion. It's like, it doesn't matter if I had, you know, made some slightly different choices that could have affected my character growing up. He feels as if all of his potential life paths ultimately would have led to this in any case. If you're not already endeared to Louis, regardless if you want to call him an inherently good or bad person, no, all these characters are all morally questionable with their own pros and cons. I think we can all hopefully at least agree to that. But when it comes to Monsieur
Louis the Point de Lac from New Orleans,
all these vampires in some degree or another, the trauma they would have faced. I mean, we can get into Armand and Louis anytime, but Armand or Lestat anytime. From the first hand of what we've seen in the show with Louis and his trauma, I mean, man, it's that's some intense shit.
A rock shifts by my knee. Could I make another rock move? Could I free my knee to exploit the craftsmanship of the coffin?
Doubtful. This ain't Kill
It was all
Bill.
ravings.
When a vampire starts screaming from starvation, he hasn't much time left.
I didn't know I was screaming. I had no energy to scream. If I had, I would have used it to ignite the clothes on my body, self-immolate. What was left to endure for? Claudia is dead.
And as Louis withered away, life in the theater returned to abnormal.
To
The
abnormal,
old plays were remounted. The pack hunts revitalized,
of course.
all under the increasingly self-satisfied eye of Santiago.
You ruined his play. They didn't get to kill Louis on stage.
And Santiago improvised a worse death. He had outwitted me,
Again,
and I played up that hurt.
played it up.
My subjugation cemented his power amongst the coven.
So,
Oh,
how
grand
did you get him
plan.
out?
Is his the only coffin in there that's like red as opposed to all the black ones? I think like a Scarlet Letter type of situation.
I placed a sacrifice in an old vault coffin. Swapped that coffin for Louis'. I was the defeated vampire, Mr. Malloy. No one was looking.
Uh-huh.
Does
that
anyone
right?
ever ask Lazarus if he wanted to be woke?
Oh,
I don't read the Bible much anymore.
No one gives a shit about Lazarus's point of view, is what I remember.
I tasted the blood. I knew it was his. Why? I thought. Claudia is dead. I was dead. I was dead, but my rage,
oh,
my rage. had
very
risen.
much alive.
Followed closely behind by my madness. They
Yikes.
moved from shadow to shadow towards the cemetery.
Man, starving. Just gonna
My
go right. Oh,
rage
in the
had
window.
been denied blood. My rage was lightheaded.
My rage killed without a single measure of satisfaction. My rage found a forgotten crypt amongst the forgotten dead. My rage hid its killings there. Do your job and conspire.
Like losing his mind, which I mean anybody would after that ordeal, and is like literally plotting his revenge while just hiding out in a cemetery, killing, gaining his strength back, and just what rage will do, like to empower somebody, man. And then the whole Armand situation, it's so difficult to even think about how to approach any of this. Who am I to call anybody's morality into question, especially these monstrous vampires? But because you could say, well, at least Armand saved him, but at the same time, is that really redemption for his previous actions? But at the same time, he was kind of put into a corner, put into the proverbial box, the coffin, as it were, regarding the situation. Like, what other choice could he have made? But then you can make the argument that there's always a choice to be made.
With my madness on a plan for retribution.
Oh, he's got a whole map of the theater. Nothing else on his mind aside from survive and revenge. Oh boy, dude, he's gonna go in unhinged. Getting gasoline now. Yeah, bro's gonna burn the place down and try to inflict as much suffering as he can.
Qu'est-ce que vous faites derrière la moto?
Of course, how else? Serial killer over here.
Probablement. Vous n'êtes pas un fermier. Non, mais chef.
Speak English.
You're not a farmer. I would use the machete.
Oh
One of
no.
them tries to escape.
The
You should
dead.
stand at the top of the stairs.
The dead talking to him. Forget Dreamstad, it's just
Cut their feet off if they go up, but enrage if they run downstairs for the.
but I also like how like even like literally it's just the random souls he's taking, like it's just projections of his inner voice, but literally it's like it's cool seeing the physical embodiment of these voices that are speaking to you in your head. You can chalk a part of it up to just kind of being unhinged after his traumatic experience. This is kind of part of his trauma. But then if we want to go to that potential theory / argument about Louis and the like hereditary nature of mental illness in his family, you could also quite easily make an argument that this is once again representation of that.
So that better.
Louis,
Oh,
He's a
Armand,
big boy.
another voice.
Gustav is strong.
why haven't you left Paris?
If you get in a fight or delay, you'll be consumed with them.
Pour more gas on this and this one. You don't need to borrow your truck.
Louis,
I don't have any use for it now.
I know you can hear me. You must leave Paris.
Maybe you should answer him. He knows the theater more than you.
Maybe you should shut up.
Louis, save yourself. They're going to find out what I did.
There's
They
nothing
don't
for
worry
him.
about me.
He's consumed. Who's to say he can even do this though? He's one versus so many. I mean, this could go in his favor.
In the rat box with Sam. Hans hauled me off. Ugly costume. Twan. Watch to die. Quan. Haul me.
Oh no. A rage. I mean, this could be a proper rage-induced, rage-fueled bloodbath. But it also reminds me of like a more psychotic version of Arya Stark, where it's he knows the names of every single person there, obviously, because even though he wasn't part of the Coven, he was Coven adjacent, right? So he has his list.
Joffrey, Cersei, Walder Frey, Meryn Trant, Tywin Lannister, the Red Woman, Beric Dondarrion, Thoros of Myr, Ilyn Payne, the Mountain.
And he knows from his limited perspective and point of view who all participated, who all was culpable, who all was most directly involved, who all like most like relished in the events that were like, who orchestrated it, who took part, who was even somewhat adjacent. And he's got his list of like who all to take out and inflict the most suffering upon.
Louis, please listen to me. If I could explain to you the events, I think you would understand why it was I acted as I did.
Sure.
I know you will never forgive me. I am not seeking forgiveness. Louis, is that you?
Did you save me at the trial?
Yes.
You pulled me out the wall?
Yes. I could not save her. If I thought there was a way, I would have.
Shut up. Shut up.
I could not prevent it.
However you manage, do not find yourself at the theater tomorrow night at curfew.
Okay.
Good luck. RJ versus... Wait, what is that? Pulitzer? Wait. Pulitzer 002? An intriguing request. Do you have it? I'd have to look. What are you looking for? Is there a play on words here that I'm missing? Like Pulitzer or 2, but it's...
Did you know he was going to burn it down?
No. But I could sense the fatalism in his thoughts.
You warned him.
Yes.
He'd already betrayed you once. They were his coven for hundreds of years. Why risk it?
My rage and madness were asleep. It was a test. I don't remember.
If you're wrong, you're dead.
There was 13 of them and 1 of me. I was going to die either way.
Same question to you. They were your coven for...
He accepted that going into it. He knew it was a suicide mission, but as long as he could exact his revenge, it didn't much matter to him. Which oftentimes is direct outcome of revenge we see portrayed in media, right? Like sometimes your character prevails, and then what's left? What is there to do now that your revenge has been completed? But most often we see like it's completed at the cost of yourself, either physically and you die, or emotionally and mentally, and then you're like a shell of yourself.
For hundreds of years. You had no feelings for any of them?
I had complicated feelings.
But you didn't warn any of them?
No.
13 to 1. Maybe you were hedging your bets? See who emerges from the ash heap?
I didn't know his plan.
I'd shut my mind off to him, Daniel.
My prevailing thought was, if I'm not with him, I'm nothing.
Him, I'm nothing. Okay, so what was the plan?
The plan?
If I'm not with him, then I am nothing. All the eggs in the emotional heart basket of my love, Louis. Like I said before, I mean, I definitely, I buy it. Like, I 100% buy the emotional bond, but I also, I got to admit, the situation between Armand and the Coven in this circumstance is immensely complicated and complex. I mean, yeah, exactly. Coven for some of them for hundreds of years, and for this like new person to enter that paradigm and be an outsider that you also happen to fall in love with, then It's kind of like if you have a longtime best friend and you meet somebody who's loving your life, and you're one of those guys or gals. Let's just say guy from my perspective. You're one of those guys that then you have that conflict of, oh well, there's this person. I love them. Like with my soul, I would die for them and I want to be with them for the rest of my life. But here's my friend who I've known since I was a kid, and we're starting to see each other less and less, perhaps. That's like a situation. And then how do you kind of like weigh those scales, and then who do you love more? How do you balance that? Which I always gave my friend like growing up, and I still do, kind of. I think I still firmly believe there is a way to make that balance. You still have your priorities, of course, but I think you can still have that balance. And that might be kind of what Armand is doing here, where it's like, look, guys and gals in the coven, we known each other for a long time, and I love you in my own way, but Louis has my heart.
I was going to die, and I was going to take as many of them with me as I could.
Noble enough revenge, I suppose.
When a vampire
A little bit of the bass right here.
to coffin,
oh, he's already here.
All the senses collapse into submission, and the dark boundaries of the world begin to stretch out in all directions. And
nobody's gonna hear that.
State,
the back
in
blade.
the lair where they slept, I could have been a marching band or a jet engine taking off a tarmac, until Paris spun back round to the sun. The advantage was mine.
Oh, over in Claudia's corner over here. Oh, the music. Nice. And that's how we got the diaries back too, because that's fucked up. They made a whole shrine for her to commemorate her execution, and then mocked her in the mirror as well. But then here I am. Here's my bloodlust and rage being satiated by the situation. And then you could once again call it my hypocrisy, because I judged characters earlier based on their own bloodlust and their own, like these violent delights have violent ends, right? I've been seduced by the tale. I'm lost in the narrative. Again, by following Louis as the main character, I can still point out his flaws, and he is a flawed person who has been, hypocritical and violent, etc., but I still find myself like sympathetic to his plight. And in the case of this and what transpired at the trial, I'm just thinking, yeah, burn it all down. Like, this is to hell with the coven, literally. Also, I love the music here. Nice. Good luck. Damn.
6 by fire.
As simple as that.
2 by blade. 1 by a combination of the 2. No legs, 1 arm, still clutching onto his clarinet. 9 in all. And with no sign of Armand or Lestat, that meant 4 had escaped. 2 out the front, 2 through the sewers.
Of course. Oh, Santiago, yeah.
But I had planned for contingencies.
Oh, yeah. Like rats to the sandwich.
They have always been jealous of us. It's because we started speaking English. It's because we took over from Armand and they spelled
the brakes.
you idiot. Or maybe
the brake line.
Are you stealing Santiago? You tried drinking from Gustav.
Oh, nice.
London.
Just blow them up.
An act of passion.
And there go 2 more, buddy.
Celeste. It's down.
R.I.P.
Hello, Francis.
Oh. Come on. Mono a mono. What you gonna do?
I'll wake you?
I tried to be quiet coming and going, but all those iron joists cracking and load-bearing beams falling down on you, well...
Is your companion with you?
Didn't you hear?
We broke up.
I'd rather doubt that.
Hard to hold hands after he killed my sister and my fledgling, but think what you want.
Don't let him take credit for the workman role he played, Louis. It was me that planned their deaths.
I'm trying to goad him into it.
Me that gave Claudia that hot exit from the garden.
Come to me.
Come to me. Oh no.
After he pulled you from the wall. Come to me, Francis.
We used her as eyeshadow for the next month's performances. We put them in the pepper shaker for the popcorn we sold in the aisles. And some nights, Louis,
Come to me, Francis.
I put a pinch of them in my fist before I closed my coffin at night. I would spit in them, and I'd use her hot, wet ashes to pleasure myself.
Come to me, Francis.
It's Santiago to you, you firebug bugger!
Nah, that's the Spaniard's name you took. Took it to forget who you were, Francis. Took it to compensate for what God denied you, Francis.
Oh
That
no.
jump in between your legs and that farm girl, Lenora, who couldn't keep quiet about it.
She only thought it
Getting in his head about his past and all that. Santiago's not even his real name. Francis. Oh, he's the Francis.
was small because my testicles are so enormous.
Then maybe it was the lip applause Francis got when Francis finally got on stage in London.
For a week, as an understudy for Osric.
Yo.
What was it the nature of the transformation that made you change your name?
Getting him so steamed.
Desperate begging, the urine racing down your leg as Francis desperately tried to take back his wish to be a vampire. I can see your maker's face now. Embarrassment washing over it.
Yo, not to cut off his monologue in this whole scene right here, but that's cool. Dude, put the cigarette in his mouth and with his mind just lit the tip real quick, just like, there we go. That's great.
We gonna smoke this seed. Pop, roll it in one hand. Flip it, leave it open. Let the mouse lick it. Come here, bitch. Yeah. And boom, throw it in the air. Pop it with the fire. Bow! Yeah. One pull. That motherfucker gone. I'm done with it. What's that? Howdy, bitch.
Cannot be.
Reminds me of Tom and Jerry.
Santi. Go. You make his voice as he walked away. I don't care what you call yourself.
This is a trap, though. 100%. Nice. Nice and simple. Dude, you jumped right into that trap. Baited him. Rage, baiting him rage. Well, there you go. Come to me. Just mantra again and again.
Say that shit about Claudia to my face.
A little bit of life left. A little bit of life left in those eyes.
Pre-dinner martini, a touch more vermouth, and the newspaper you asked for this morning, Mr. Malloy.
Oh, thank you for remembering.
Santiago's failure to protect his coven, how quickly he ran to save his own flesh.
Nation faces changed abortion landscape, New York Times. The newspaper you requested, is it today's newspaper? Is this a past newspaper?
Santiago's failure to protect his coven, how quickly he ran to save his own flesh, filled him with unworthiness.
Mm-hmm.
And it made him an uncomplicated seduction.
Indeed, it was very simple. Also, did Lestat not leave right after the trial? Because he said Lestat wasn't there. So was he staying in Paris during the, even after the executions? Or did he go, where else would he have gone, right? What, back to Nolans? I don't know.
He brought a cloak to a knife fight.
And all my rage and madness exited my body.
Just like that, huh?
And nothing replaced it.
Oh, emptiness. There you go. There you go. The invert, like we were discussing earlier, a lot of what you see in media, if you go on a quest for vengeance, oftentimes the way media portrays it, if you do, quote unquote, succeed in your vengeance, what's left? Okay, you did the thing. It's not going to bring back the ones you lost. It's not going to change the situation that caused you to go on your quest. The dominoes that fell afterwards. Like maybe justice has been served in some twisted, violent, or emotional sense. But once you truly enact revenge on somebody, are you better off or worse for it? Like what has been accomplished here today? And then, like he said, that was all gone and nothing replaced it. Like I said, emptiness. You're a husk of yourself, for an indeterminate amount of time, if perhaps the rest of your life. But that's the cost of vengeance. Interesting that he keeps the stones in his feet, though. A little bit of lore. Is Armand gonna find him now? Oh, there we go. So what now? Oh, with the light dividing them?
When did you start lying to me?
I see.
The night of Madeleine's transformation.
A while back then.
We parted at Sacre-Cœur. I went back to make sure the Coven would keep curfew. Let you do what you were going to do in safety. They were all on stage waiting for me. Told me they had done a rewrite.
Interesting how he has that wall of light, which one would think might be a protective barrier, but I feel like, I mean, just a quick little spritz through would be, it's more for a visual aesthetic than anything at this point. Less of a literal wall, you know?
Thus the script at my feet, and I saw the title, and I thought, it's my coven of 200 years, or him. And at the time, I could not count on your love lasting as long.
You rehearsed it with Lestat?
It's a fair
They
point.
rehearsed it with him. I stayed in my coffin when I was there.
Again, what we discussed earlier.
When you spent nights over here.
I lied to you, over and over.
Then once think, in all that time, telling me. Make a different plan with me.
I will spend my life making it up to you.
Well, like he said, I mean, Louis was so volatile, and Louis's love is volatile in general. Like, I will admit that. As sympathetic as I am to his character very often in this show, I can admit that, like, you know, Louis is very inconsistent with matters of the heart and where that ends up taking him. So I do understand Armand's predicament. Again, as we discussed earlier, like, I get it. Is it justifiable? That's a hell of a tricky argument. Discussion, rather. I'll spend the rest of my life making up to you.
I know.
Is Lestat still in Paris?
You'll never be able to kill him.
That wasn't my question.
Yes, he's still here.
Damn, he stuck around.
Wake me when it's night again.
Does Lestat know that Louis is alive? Do they have...
Ask for a child.
Oh.
The light's going out of your blue eye.
Just hanging out in the
Like
tomb.
all the summer days are gone.
Just waiting for them to find him. Come to me. Tormented, it seems. A final convo here. Oh, here we go. A conversation not under duress.
Was it a good day's rest? Does it take a lot out of you? Destroying everything in your wake? Well, almost everything.
You look small.
So interesting, though. At first, I would say, well, now Louis is stronger and he has more of a spine than he used to. So this dynamic is going to be different. The conversation would go differently. But as we saw in the true flashback of that one night, like, we don't know how many nights were truly. It's so difficult to pinpoint a foundation for how this relationship would typically kind of go, but you can kind of glean based on that one fateful night where the main domestic assaults happened, kind of how Louis actually might have been on a day-to-day basis. So perhaps he's always been this way, and it's just gotten stronger, more overt, fiercer over the years. But I don't know. If we take season 1 at face value, minus those revelations, then I would sense there is more of an overt change in how he's going to address and speak with Lestat. But again, it's hard to have the full proper context.
Please come home. This was Magnus's lair.
Oh, so you were chained up and turned?
Some distance between the happy couple. Details left to work out after the homicide of Fralik.
That's where he kept you? Chained to the wall?
No, this was for the disappointments. The
Oh.
ones before me.
And so you've put yourself now.
He
Interesting.
had a knack for design. Nordic blondes on walls, dirty blondes in piles. Right about where the gremlin stands now.
The
I don't care.
gremlin. You did ask.
I came here to have a think. On my origins. Why I do what I do.
Introspection.
Why?
Burned your daughter alive?
Oh, well, yeah.
Why you rehearsed a play that would burn your daughter alive? Why you crossed an ocean to rehearse a play that would burn your daughter alive?
The great laws.
law did you ever follow, Lestat? I've come to kill you.
I have the blood of Magnus in me.
Magnus Burns.
Oh. And Armand's willing to help him.
He doesn't know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
But the fact in and of itself makes your immediate desire an impossibility.
He can't
I have to
burn?
be willing, and I'm not in the mood.
And I'm not. I have to be willing, and I'm not in the mood. I have the blood. Was it Akashala? No relation to those who must be kept, right? I do recall that line, by the way, dropped in last season, those who must be kept. Not sure what it's in relation to yet. A vampire more ancient than Armand, perhaps more, I don't know about more ancient than Magnus, but different than Magnus, but a vampire's blood in the being of Lestat that would prevent him from burning unless he is willing. So does that mean that after Louis opened his throat, if they had put him in the incinerator, wouldn't he have? Well, I guess at that moment he was kind of like, oh, this is my fate, I suppose. But
My blood is your blood.
And yet,
are we choosing to not even try, or do we believe it wouldn't be?
Here's your death. Let's stop.
Pointless. Oh, right in front of him. Even worse, emotionally. Also, so like Louis, a flair for the dramatics. I swear, can't just move on with his life and go do something else. He's like, no, me and my partner here I'm gonna bring him down here to play tonsil hockey in front of you because he wants to twist this knife in just any way that he can try to, like, this emotional game. Him and Lestat are constantly, like, always playing with each other. Get out of here. Oh. And as far as Lestat's concerned, Louis still has his heart. But one could also say Louis is just using Armand to set an example
You and I
here.
are gonna spend the rest of our lives together, wherever you're miserable.
But purposeful or out of spite, babe? Oh my.
When life takes you, whoever you find to endure time with, whatever pale proxy of me, I'll be with him.
Damn.
Just wanted you to know that.
That's pretty rough.
wow.
Well, cheers to the happy couple.
Enjoy you.
But you'll still be thinking about me. In the 1973 San
Let's see how
Francisco.
long it holds.
There you go. In the 1973 San Francisco, when Armand channels his voice and he's like, Louis, I love you. Clearly still cares, still loves. Then, of course, Louis still cares and loves. That's why this whole... what does Echo say to Powder?
Always a dance with you.
With these two, always a dance.
One more round in the stormy romance of you two!
What do you think he meant by that, Louis?
It's fairly obvious. He didn't think we would make it. 77 years.
Almost to the day.
We left him there. Walked Paris one last time, completely silent. I said telepathically. Was it telepathically?
I don't remember.
I said, settled in New York a good while. San Francisco.
San Francisco. Now we're back to finishing each other's sentences, but notice there's still that distance between them at the table physically. They've grown apart over the course of the season.
Here, there, everywhere, and Dubai.
Or we're now firmly planted.
And that's the end of it.
There's nothing else?
There's nothing else.
That's the story. Why do I feel like that's not the case? Are we truly caught up? And that was the interview with the vampire, folks.
End of session.
God, take it easy on the MacBook, buddy. We made it this time. Look at that. We've come so far from San Francisco. Oh, I see. Oh, once again, some final revelation that Rashid brought. But what was the exchange? He said, do you have it? Trying to get something from RJ and Talamasca. And they're like, okay, well, reciprocation. What can you offer us? So is the exchange going to be, I'll give you rights to the book. I'll give you all the information I've accumulated. And you give me this final nail in the proverbial coffin here. Like something that's thin enough to either be a document or a photo. But there's something in that envelope. Oh, we're not even halfway through the episode, man. Get out of town. Be careful, it's one of a kind. I can't read what the top left says. RJ, it's one of a kind. There's only one copy of
I can
it?
say that now. He loved you a great deal. It
Let's
must have been
stop.
terrible for him to see us off that night.
Mind if I ask a few follow-up questions? There's just some things I've been jotting down along the way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's
On behalf of Talamasca, or are you trying to find more inconsistencies in the story, Mr. Malloy?
it's just small stuff, like you and the tractor salesman in the bar in New Orleans before you killed him. You
Right.
said that Lestat telepathically told you that you were scaring the salesman.
Right.
A maker can't do that anymore after transformation, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he whispered it to me.
Oh no. Am I gonna fail all the pop quizzes? Am I gonna is it gonna be a lot of things I missed from season 1 I didn't realize in the moment?
Yeah. I figured as much.
Oh my god. How could I be so foolish?
You said that 4 escaped the theater. Celeste, Estelle, Santiago, and...
Sam.
Right.
What happened to
the
Sam?
Vampire Sam Barkley.
We never quite figured
What, sorry, what did that say?
Escape.
I didn't even think about Sam. Where's Sam now? Year, April 1949. Location, Paris office. Agent source, VSB.
Vampire Sam Barkley.
We never quite figured out how he did it.
Did you ever get to him?
No. Time heals, Daniel. I believe he's a DJ now.
A DJ?
He wears a decorative helmet on his head when he performs.
Does
Daft
he?
Punk?
Yeah,
What?
It's funny because Sam's in 2 places at once at one point in your story. He's guarding Armand in the theater box, but you also have him helping to bury you below stage.
He was with me in the box.
Wasn't that
he was
after
with Armand in the box.
words?
Oh, maybe he did a quick vamp back and forth.
I just got it wrong. Rashid, should we begin dinner preparations?
Yes, sir.
I do hope
Oh.
you'll join us.
I'd be honored. Okay.
What's for dinner, huh?
Look at
Who's
my
for dinner?
list one more time here. I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over the place here, but the night that Lestat brings all those soldiers home and you tell him to throw them out, how many soldiers did he mine out of the townhouse that night?
I don't know.
10, 15?
Are you oh Armand's face. Are you gonna tell me wait a second, hang on. Are you gonna tell me that Armand wasn't the one who saved Louis' life, but it was Lestat? Like Armand didn't have the strength for it? Like I took all my strength. It's like, yeah, but Lestat's the one we've seen control crowds. Oh, dude, that face.
More like 30?
Huh.
Huh?
Oh, well, it seems to me, I mean, back to the trial again, it seems to me that there was more than one person in the theater that night who could have saved you.
Yes. Oh my god. Is there a whole narrative here Armand has been feeding as well? Oh my.
I know. It's my job. I'm built this way. I know. It's a stretch, but...
It's in your nature, Mr. Malloy.
Oh, what are
Couldn't
you
get
gonna
out the door without lobbing one more bomb.
Well, you said it yourself just now. He loved Louis. Lestat would have tried to save him as much as you did.
And he certainly would have made it known that he had. Shall we take these
Oh.
follow-ups and specious theories to the dining room?
Specious theories? Oh, dude, Armand's getting emotional now.
Special. Prepared for you, Daniel.
The script. Oh, it's the. Oh my God, they've got the script.
Santiago should hand the diary into the audience, have them feel the evidence in their hands. This is too early for Lestat to acknowledge Louis. Keep the
Sat right
tension.
back down.
Have him look at Louis later the moment
He's
he
sad.
describes meeting him in New Orleans. These are just some notes along the margins here. We
glance at
need an
Armand.
animation here. It's not clear how extreme the hoarding was.
Where did you get that?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Read it for yourself.
Oh my. One more. Whoa, God, this Louis. Are we gonna have a revelation of just more? We're not even halfway through the episode. So Armand's hiding even more. Is that the case? Once again, the story that's being perpetuated. One person tells themselves, another person tells someone else that story, and that story just becomes gospel based on recollection, the odyssey of recollection. Oh boy. I don't think he's ever actually laid eyes on the script itself.
That's when the Black Angel came.
He was there
But he came back.
during rehearsals.
He did. It was
Another lie.
And now you rise from your chair and walk towards Claudia.
Are you gonna tell me this was all Oh my god! Are you gonna tell me that all of this was Armand's doing? Oh my god! If you're gonna tell me that he's the one, like maybe Santiago didn't orchestrate a coup, Armand is the one, the jealous and jolted lover, who got Lestat to come back here to enact this whole. I'm gonna shut up. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna. Yeah, this good enough for you?
And how do you suppose that you will keep her quiet in this moment? More of your cheap theatrics.
The judges will fog her mind.
All part of his plan.
You have no idea of Claudia's strength.
Oh.
He didn't witness the play. He directed the play.
Jesus.
What say you?
Lestat is the one who saved him. No one was guarding Armand. He was just watching. And Louis was so out of it, he bought the...
Banishment.
The Odyssey of Recollection. It's a bitch and a half, ain't it? Oh my.
Where does the bullshit start, Armand, Amadeo?
Daniel, I love you to death. Please be careful. Armand will probably try to kill you, and the best thing you can hope for is that Louis is going to step in to try to save your life again, like he did in San Francisco. But, like, Daniel, you got to be careful, man. This is a good hand you're playing. It's a solid hand. It's the best hand you got left, but it might be your last hand if you're not careful.
You were supposed to die with Claudia. He didn't save you. Lestat did.
But this could also be the last good thing. Oh, that's gonna make me sad. This is the last good act Daniel does. Uncover the truth. If he dies and he goes out like this, I'm gonna cry. Journalist to the end, keeping his integrity here. He notices the inconsistencies, does the digging, finds the truth, uncovers it, and with his dying breath is like, Louis, you have the truth now. Goodbye, dear friend.
He just took credit for it when the opportunity presented itself. And you wasted everyone who could have told you differently. 77 years based on a seismic lie.
It's a forgery, Louis.
It's from the Talamasca. Sam was their guy in Paris. He gave it to them. They gave it to me here.
Sam was part of the Talamasca? Oh! What? Oh. Or maybe he kills Armand. Dude, Louis is about to go off.
Louis! 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 This was Santiago's theory. He just like he put me to work in the Red Room after he wanted me to suffer.
All right, Daniel, what you gonna do? He's still alive? Get out of there. Too late. Daniel, run. Go.
Rashid?
Oh, did he kill Rashid?
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 I'm guessing Rashid left after he brought me the newspaper.
You're not to touch him. Do you understand? You harm him in any way, I will kill you. Do you understand? I'm leaving now. When I return, you need to be gone. You should gather your things from your room. I'll arrange a car and a plane to take you home.
By the end of the book? The interview?
I'll see there's $10 million wired into your account.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Huh.
I was hoping the Canes would wait until July.
Sheesh. So much to get into. Rashid. Oh, I'm saying Rashid. Fake Rashid. Fake. He said Rashid. It threw me off. Armando. Revelations are at hand. Dude, this show never really fully coming out with the truth, is it? You always gotta find out one way or another. I love the way that that whole scene played out, though. That was nice. Damn. Like, I still, even with that betrayal, like, here's the thing. Even with the, like, betrayal and abuse that Lestat threw at Louis, the betrayal and abuses of sorts that Armand threw at Louis, not to say that Louis doesn't also commit his own betrayals and abuses, but for the sake of this conversation, bear with me, Louis stands and whatnot. If we're just focusing on, like, Armand in this case, these are all very likable, interesting, layered, complicated characters, but man, I don't doubt the love is still there, as flawed and twisted and toxic as it may be. But even at that point, like, for him to like direct the show and have the trial to get rid of, I mean, yeah, because technically Louis was going against, was putting him in a situation, wouldn't join the coven, making him look weak, putting him again, backing him up into a corner. He loved Louis and still wanted him in his heart. And so what's the best way to do that than to, but then again, it's the coven, right? Like the conversation we had before, but instead of going with his heart, he was like, no, I can't go with my heart. I love Louis, but the coven, I have to uphold this. But that fell through because Lestat was the snake in the grass, as it were. He was that final little hat trick where he defied Armando and helped to save Louis's life. And then took the credit, since everybody else that could have said otherwise was dead except for Sam, who I guess held onto a copy of the damn script and works for the Talamasca, which is a wild twist. And then he's like, well, my coven's dead, and I still believe he does love Louis, right? So even though, like, now he's like, well, hell, I felt like I had to choose the coven before. Now I no longer have to. The coven doesn't exist anymore, so we just keep this particular truth buried, and I can have it both ways. Armand got to have his cake and eat it too. The coven that he felt like he reluctantly had to care for is then annihilated. And how ironic, it's not him that does it. He's a catalyst in the equation of these dominoes that fall. But how ironic is it that the coven that Armand reluctantly cares for and has power for is then destroyed by the one that he loves and would like to be with. And the coven's gone. He hides the truth. That lie is buried. And he's like, well, as long as that lie stays buried, Louis and I can have our love and share it and move forward. And then the strength of Lestat, by the way, so curious in that moment, because they couldn't have burned him even if they wanted to. And Lestat, because he could have, I always say it, the grave will out the truth, but Lestat in those catacombs, he could have like ratted on Armand, and he didn't. Instead of being the stir and the one who uncovers that drama right there to have it all out, just so he could have Louis. Man, you can make the argument saying that he saw Louis as happy, and he knows Louis is smart and capable, and would eventually, at some point in the future, decades and decades later, sure, but for them, that might as well be next week. Maybe in his head, he's like, Louis will figure it out, and then, he'll, perhaps then we'll see what the future holds, but instead, a mild condemnation, and then let the whole thing just go on, instead of interjecting himself in the situation. Is Louis going to go find Lestat now? Try to salvage that or have it out or something?
New edition at the Essence Festival. That's all shut it up now.
2 on the flow. Must have cost you.
Wasn't cheap. Me and my babe was on the bad side. Then I see they got a new edition headlining the festival. She had a thing for Ralph when she was young. You believe that? Ralph, pretty much. Then I think, well, each one on the flow is gonna open back the door.
She'll be back.
She'll be back for Ralph. How come you coming in when everybody else getting out? This Odette set to be at least a 3. Flip your phone.
What city are we headed back to right now?
First time in New Orleans?
Of Of course.
Did my luggage arrive?
Was that the city skyline we saw in the opening of the episode that I did not recognize? Was that of Nolans?
Yes, sir. 2 bags and an oversized crate early in the morning. So waiting for you in your suite.
We're home. Where Lestat felt most at home.
Very generous, Mr. Dulac. Thank you, sir.
Of course.
Your card? Your key? We're happy to have you as long as you'll have us. But we are boarding up the hotel for the hurricane. We're asking our guests to fill out this
Waiver.
No
Of
problem.
course. Consummate gentleman. Oh, we're gonna go a literal walk down memory lane. How poetic. How poetic that it all comes back around to where it started, but we're in modern day Nolans. Gonna go through the old French Quarter. You can tell he's grown as well, because instead of going on this rampage of revenge, aside from, you know, throwing Armand against a wall and telling him to leave and never come back, and I'm going to continue my life now. Like, he's just at peace now with the truth and continuing his life, but heading back here to where he found love with Lestat. Oh, this is going to be all romantic and gothic, and oh, love it. Also, I meant to touch on it. My mind slipped for a moment, but very poetic that once again, it's cyclical in a way, but instead of how it went down in San Francisco, where, you know, the interview was cut short by violence, attempted unaliving and obfuscation of the truth and torture and trauma and all this. Moving on from that, instead, the interview is conducted in its entirety. By the end of it, we have one final big revelation that Daniel has made for, who am I kidding? I would even go as far as to say, not just his associate, but his friend, perhaps even, his friend Louis. You gave me the whole story. We worked through this trauma together. You sat down here and you actually told me the truth. And this is the way I interpret it, is Louis put in the work. Out of the two of them, Armand only comes forward with the truth once he's in a corner. Once these facts come to light and once revelations are made with the hard work of Daniel and Louis. That's when Armand comes through. Louis, like, eventually, as we saw, he was like, no, I know the way I told you before, but Lestat's recollection is correct. This is the correct way. He got to a point where he's come so far in his life where he says there's no point in obfuscation or hiding behind false narratives or these higher platitudes that Armand and I eventually had planned to hide behind. Louis put in the work, and he wanted to give the full truth and story, almost for less the sake of having a book be written, but really I think it's kind of that personal, like, I want to work through all this, I want to recall, and then got to a point where, thanks to Daniel's help as a good investigative journalist, he was able to have these memories come flooding back in, remembering, as we discussed earlier in the season, the good, the bad, and the ugly, but just to remember all of it and to be able to see things clearly for the first time in God knows how long is a gift in and of itself. And I think it's so poetic that the final, like I said, the final nail in the coffin there, Daniel, due to the connections he's made in Dubai now, provides a document that provides the one last, like, earth-shattering, groundbreaking truth. As it gives it to Louis, like, here's my gift. It's a gift in a way. Just gives it to him and says, this is the truth. Do with it what you will. And Louis doesn't kill Armand. Instead is like, Daniel, nothing's gonna happen to this man. We're leaving. Daniel, $10 million for helping me, for being here, for perhaps all the pain, the suffering, for our journey. 10 million. Laptops on fire. The story once again, the true unadulterated story once again destroyed, but perhaps we don't even need it. We went down that odyssey of recollection together. And the reward was the friends we made along the way, the journey we took. The story will never see the light of day, destroyed, and perhaps it is for the best. But instead of being destroyed in violence and trauma, everything that happened in San Francisco, instead it's in much better circumstances. We part as friends, as gentlemen. I thank you for your time. I compensate you for it. We both move on with our lives. Good luck with yours. I really like how that all played out.
Green pearly gates, home of the most infamous part ever thrown in New Orleans.
As the hurricane's about to roll in.
Members of high society. They walked in them doors right there. Ain't nobody ever seen them again. It's 1940. The man that owned this townhome and that
casual
is
dress.
Garage, who went by the name Sebastian Melmoth. Now, history's gonna have him go down a little something different. A Monsieur Lysander Lioncourt, who was a so-called Frenchman, a so-called seller of industrial machinery. But now tell the crime dog, Why would a man, a known hoarder and an infamous recluse, be named King Araj in the first place? Sebastian knew a fella by the name of Tom Anderson. He was a former Louisiana state representative and a full-time Bourbon Street gangster.
Oh yeah, old Tom.
Alone in 1132, also in residence was a local Creole hustler and his little child bride. They were running a voodoo
Oh no.
in the back rooms above the courtyard garden. Yes, they were. Now, it's Mardi Gras.
Funny what history does, huh?
The next morning, couldn't nobody find hair-to-hair piece of none of them. But what did they find?
Is that Sam?
Indeterminate
Or
Tom
somebody
Anderson.
else? Notice how even in lies and false narratives that end up coming up, there's little grains of truth to them. Right as a storm rolls in. What do they say? Lestat is a hurricane. You can't script a hurricane.
Wild out there.
Shut up.
Oh no, it's not Sam. Just a rando.
I mean, we should be. Out of town is where we should be. Shut up. You crazy old man playing. Who's you?
Hello.
Cajun vampire again.
Who's he?
Stott already knows.
Louis? He's Louis?
Get out.
Get out. Where? I mean, there's a mad hurricane outside. I keep fucking telling dog. God damn it. God. Enjoy your rats, you French bitch.
Fire gift, in your honor. Where is some fledgling? All the millennials are. He is an excellent rat catcher.
Finally, modern day.
Would you like one?
Hello, Lestat.
Hello, Louis.
I can't
That's
help
not true.
but be moved by this.
I came to see you.
Oh?
And what does your companion think of that?
I'm companion enough for myself now.
Good for you. I'm sorry I don't have much time. I'm in the middle of rehearsing.
Rehearsing?
I'm going on tour.
Oh?
Marguerite, she seems to have retired. And I thought, who better than me to carry on the great work?
Going on tour?
Just need about 50 more years of practice. Siri, pause.
Siri, pause.
Did you save my life in Paris?
I gave you to Armand. You tell me if that was saying.
Why didn't you say it was me who saved you, not him?
I don't like to point out my virtues.
Okay. Get out of here.
I knew you'd figure it out. And look. You have. I was right. Oh, hell me.
Oh, heal me. Oh my god.
Been enduring here?
Not enduring. Living.
Here in New Orleans. Whole time.
It's my home.
Hmm.
I am she is me.
I didn't know it was a gift.
The house is gonna be ripped
I wore it
away.
like a curse. I was selfish. I tried to make nights awful, but I wanted you to suffer. Because I was suffering.
Huh. Shall we list all the ways we have wronged each other and why it will never be right between monstrous?
I came to thank you
Oh.
for the gift you offered me. The gift I denied. For the nights in front of me. Where I might learn to live honest. Thank you.
September 8th, 1973. September 8th, 1973. It was 11:07 here. It would have been 9:07 in San Francisco.
Yeah, when mental.
Armand called me. Were you there? Yeah. Did you hurt yourself?
Oh.
I was lost. I was in a dark way. Yeah. I was thinking about
I can't get her out of my mind. You have the same problem. I can't, Louis. I can't.
Hey, it's not on you. You hear me? I carried her home. I made you turn her. I saved her from the fire. So a half century later,
She looked at me at the end like a child, looking to her father. But I was new.
At the end? You can't do this to me. What, Daniel Malloy's on Channel 4 News? I'm so I gotta clean myself up real quick. God, that give me one moment. Sorry, room's a mess. I'm packing up. I'll be moving pretty soon. But oh, I forgot I had Kleenex on deck. It was one domino after another. Damn it. All right, maybe he's won me over. I'll get more into it afterwards. But oh, when he was like, "Did you hurt yourself?" Like he was just concerned about that. Like, oh man. All right, you guys and gals might have had a point. Just had to give me some time to get there, huh? Daniel Malloy's in the Channel 4 News.
Welcome back, Atlanta. And welcome to my next guest, the two-time Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative...
Dude, it's Gabe! Dude, what the... Bro survived Breaking Bad, huh?
You don't have to do this.
Dude, welcome back. Yo, I could recognize that face anywhere.
Journalist and author of the current best-selling fictional memoir, Interview with the Vampire.
Oh, he got it written anyway. I have the cloud.
It's a memoir, it's not fiction.
It is one of the main topics of debate regarding your book.
Dude, bro has the shades, excuse me, the AC/DC shirt, the leather jacket. Dude, Malloy's back, bro. Malloy is back. I brought you on reporter with a point of view. Interview avec les vampires.
Is it true or is it a joke?
Well, I've sold 5 million books in 4 months.
Yes.
You can't see the forest for the trees they killed printing it. Hey, Atlanta, check out the book fair this weekend.
It is going to be quite something. The
Boy, oh
Washington
boy.
Post.
The Bezos Bugle.
And the Bezos Bugle got him. I'm sorry to keep pausing, but it just occurred to me. A man got paid $10 million to do the interview, to give Louis the truth, to reunite him with Lestat, and he's still also got the book written and sold 5 million copies. Lestat and Louis are sitting in the study just chuckling to themselves.
That's a good one. It called your book a sophomoric footnote in an otherwise stellar career. Conceptually weird.
Middle finger to the publishing industry that turned its back on him a decade ago. I don't read reviews.
Is it true you shopped this book to every major publisher in the country in the UK?
What is this?
It's a legitimate question.
No, it's not. I mean, You haven't even told your viewers what the book is about.
Oh, good point. The book purports to be an interview with an actual vampire.
Oh, I know what it's about. It's about you, Leonard, trying to go viral with your dinky little provincial news desk. Yeah, I did.
Oh, here we go.
Did interview an actual
Dinky
vampire.
news desk.
Here's the camera. I interviewed an actual vampire, actually 2 vampires, a species that's lived among us for centuries, and it's supported by a mountain of historical documentation.
You took a noble career.
Didn't even read it.
Put it in the shroud.
Didn't read the book.
You were one of our finest, and now you're a Bigfoot hunter chasing
Hey man,
Jesus' bloodline.
I've sold millions of these books, more than Johnny Grisham.
Wait.
Or
Oh,
Prince Harry.
bro! I just realized, dude. I didn't even see his hands. He turned them. Did he? Is that why he's got the glass? Oh my god. Hell yeah. Dude gave him the gift. I just saw the white fingernails. Wait, have they always been in the... I just now noticed them? Oh, that's brilliant direction right there. I was so focused on it, the faces and the body. I wasn't even looking at the hands. How brilliant that he... This is marvelous blocking and direction to then bring the book up to be holding it so his hands are more in focus in case the bozos like me who missed it at first didn't catch it again. Not to mention the white contrast with the red background to really make it stand out. Dude, they turned him crazy.
And The Prisoner of Santa Barbara. It's a great read, and you're a hack.
What a delight. Thanks so much for being here, Daniel Malloy. Can't wait to read the book.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Daniel Malloy's back, baby. Turn against his own? Uh-oh. The fact that we get a journalist now, we get to have an investigative journalist of his caliber survive for as long as he can survive the centuries, and possibly, I don't know if that means he retains the Parkinson's or if he gets to, like, heal from that, and then a lot of implications there, but keep going. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. This is what Armand called, though. Armand said all the other vampires are going to hear this and they're going to come for you. A heretic? Oh. Oh. Louis.
It's me. Listen.
I love it.
The royalty checks keep bouncing back to me, man. I need a forwarding address.
Why not send them to your editors at the Talamasco?
The they made me take out. No editor's next book, I promise.
There won't be a next book.
Still has the phone up to as if to feign the projection. Uh-oh.
Want the 10 million back? Just say it, man. Send me an address.
You know where I live?
I really wouldn't be staying put if I were you. I'm guessing you haven't heard from my maker.
No.
An asshole.
I'm sorry you were burdened out of spite.
Was it
I
Lestat?
shouldn't have left you alone with him.
Armand.
Make it up to me. We'll do a follow-up book.
I shouldn't have left you alone with him. Armand turned him out of spite. He left him alone and... Oh. If you kill him, I will destroy you. Okay, fine. What an Armand move right there, by the way. All right, I won't kill you, but I am going to turn you. And in that itself could be a condemnation of sorts. I also just realized, does that mean that because he has the same color pupils now that that Armand had, I think, right? That kind of like vibrant sort of orange, almost, well, not orange, but like that hazel, kind of that bright hazel. Does the maker get the same pupil color as no, I'm sorry. Does the fledgling, the created, get the same pupil as the creator? But Armand turned him and fled. Interesting.
I'm sorry you were burdened out of spite. I shouldn't have left you alone with him.
Make it up to me. We'll do a follow-up book.
What do you want, Daniel?
I'm worried about you.
Oh no, he's hunting.
I'm fine.
I keep hearing the other vamps talking about you. They're really f***ing pissed off about our book.
You want to write another with me?
Sequels, audiobooks, sex toys.
Yeah.
He lives in the same place.
Kill him.
You still haven't read it, have you?
Is Lestat there now?
It's the top of my stack.
Huh.
You said that last month.
Still hasn't read it.
Get out of Dubai, Louis. Hey, where'd you get those headphones?
Stuff them in the oven like a chip. Sindomagnan, sai. Morso dopo morso fino al midollo.
Interesting. What's that painting called? either a lovers embracing each other, or it could be a feeding. Hard to say, but interesting how different people pointed out that the artwork in throughout season 2 that's been in the Dubai. I mean, the artwork that's been in the Dubai penthouse has been reflective of the narrative and had kind of like thematic ties and relations. But I do like how now the artwork's once again changed, as has the a little bit of the lighting, the furniture. There's some plants in there now. The vibe has changed for sure.
We'll all get a chump. Shikar karo.
Either we fight them all off, or we accept demise together. Oh, they all know where he lives. He's just gonna sit here and wait for them. Has little bro up there on the wall. The tree, which somebody in the comments said was Armand's tree, is now gone. The guard. I just realized something. Oh my God, the revelation. He took back his trauma. He was. The fact that and it explains the feet. It explains the feet in the gravel. He was buried alive in stones, and this whole damn time, his Zen garden, the place he goes to find peace, is the Zen garden of stones that he then digs his feet into, like a reconnection. Because he said he permanently has stones that are like kind of like implanted in his feet from that traumatic night. But he's always gone there whenever he's gotten really stressed out to go back and like de-stress and ground himself again. Which is interesting because he was talking about, is that another ploy on like kind of like how our I would say how we repeat or reenact our trauma, but to me that says more that even before all of this happened, he took back his trauma by finding peace in the stones and the rocks and the gravel. Holy shit. Beautiful. I can't believe it literally just clicked in my head, but that is amazing. And then is that kind of like a little bit of a tree up there? Like instead of the physical embodiment, it's like, also, why are there 2 chairs in here?
Grow quiet now.
Oh. And Claudia's dress. Little brother, his portrait officially put up on the wall. Claudia's dress.
This is the vampire Louis Dulac. I live in the penthouse apartment at the Al Sharaf Towers in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The security staff here is robust, but mortal. My front door is always unlocked, as are the windows to my balcony, which were designed with a protective film coating for those of us sun-challenged. So for all you cowards out there talking about taking a run at me, hear this now.
I'm right here.
Plain.
Come get me.
I own the night.
Damn. Louis to the end there, huh? The implications Lestat might be around, but we don't get to see it. We just know they reunited in New Orleans, but that's also his home. So we don't... And maybe the simple fact is maybe they just don't, like... Again, I haven't read the book, so I don't have any context, but maybe they just don't need to be together. But just having that reconciliation and that understanding and sharing the truth is enough. Fledgling the creator. Brilliant. God, am I grateful? Man, am I grateful. I said it once. I might have said it a few times, in fact, but I'll say it again. When the show was first suggested to me, I had my doubts. I not that I don't believe, you fine guys and gals out there. I don't know. I heard, like, I guess because I never heard great things about the movie, and then I heard there's a show, and I'm like, okay, well, you think homoerotic vampire stuff, for some reason I just thought like True Blood or something where it's like Twilight or something that'd be like melodramatic but could be entertaining. But one of my top favorite shows of all time. Beautiful, gorgeous, absolutely brilliantly written, acted, portrayed. The cinematography, the direction, like it's pretty much like perfection in television, just about. I'm sure if you dug deep enough, you could find some nitpicks, right? Like to call any show perfect, you can really dig into it, and ultimately it might come down to like a matter of personal preference. But what a journey, like emotionally, but also just from a qualitative standpoint. And it's part of what's kind of like been my more positive mental headspace as of this like last year or two. But I feel absolutely, not even religious, but I feel blessed to be alive in a time where art like this exists. I feel I feel so lucky that I get to, as aspects of this particular timeline are, whether it's Harambe or incumbent presidential candidates or whatever you want to say, whatever your opinion may. It's moments like this, man, oh man. Do we get it behind the scenes? Of course. And per request, a treat for you guys and gals, but un momento, por favor.
And that's the end of it. There's nothing else. That's the end of our season. It would appear that all is lost, and these significant characters who hopefully have entertained and fascinated us for all of the season come to their end.
Louis feels deeply responsible for her, feels responsible for the good things that happen and the bad things that happen.
Burning the theater down physically was really difficult because keep in mind we were lighting fires in an old wooden building.
Oh,
and
no.
We had firemen and everybody standing by every time a match was lit. There were 3 people there.
We knew that there was going to be a fire, so the other thing that we did is we put a layer of cement board underneath all of our flooring. We put cement board behind walls so that even if our finishes were wood, there was something underneath it that was going to help with fire prevention.
Clever and safe, but also, man, the budget for this show. I wish this show would take off a bit more than the following that it has right now. Just further funding to make this even better than it already is, if that's even possible. But
in the existing structure.
Haven't got what they deserve, every one of them.
Yeah, look, he's so joyous about it.
That's his sister, his daughter, his companion, and they were very vengeful. So occasionally, an eye for an eye. In shooting that scene, it's such an iconic part of the book, but it's also like a very iconic part of the film. And I think we've done something different.
But be careful, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. Maybe. Hello, Francis.
Louis just left the theater. Now he's on his way to get Santiago.
Oh,
the ringleader. As an understudy for Osric. I think his main plan, really, with Santiago is to just like wind him up, is to bait him, lure him to Louis, and then chop his head off.
Yeah. Simple, so easy.
I'm about to film my death.
Oh, he's so excited.
Is that a big spoiler? No, it isn't, not if you read the books. It's a combination of stuntmen, me, and a fake head, which fortunately I worked with the makeup designer, Tammy Lane, on a different show, and they did a full cast of my head, so they had one.
That head looks amazing, by the way. Coming from having just seen Gladiator 2, there's a character does get their head lopped off, and then eventually it's touted around a throne room, and that head, like compared to this one, dog water, poo-poo. That head looks, whoever they have in the makeup and prosthetics department, I'm a big horror fan, and I love practical effects, especially in my horror movies and all that. So that head looks absolutely amazing, by the way.
It's stuck.
He's made of rubber, so he's pretty solid. He's really hard to destroy, just like Ben Daniels.
I was really glad I didn't have to do it again. It's so awful if you're claustrophobic. You're encased in gel and plaster with just tiny holes for your nostrils for 15 minutes.
That's what I sent him. That was our conversation about this scene. Just that picture.
He just texted it to me.
Love it. I love it.
Given
simple as that.
What a wonderful character Ben created with Santiago, it was fitting to give him a sort of real cinematic death.
Yeah.
The Louis and Lestat relationship in episode 8 is lovely conclusion to the full 2 seasons of their relationship. The beginning, in Magnus's lair, Louis doesn't know how much Lestat did to save Louis's life. He's not aware of that at that point. Louis really just does the thing that he thinks will most destroy Lestat, which is leave him, and leave him for someone else. You know, Lestat's deep insecurity is the thing that Louis just pours salt on in that moment.
Louis doesn't have all the information. Just to clarify.
Yeah.
Lestat really thinks that Louis knows that he saved him. So he's quite surprised when he turns up with Armand and Louis blaming him for Claudia's death, which is,
thought he
fair
did.
enough. Because Lestat was a part of it, but they all were part of it. There's a very interesting dynamic between Lestat and Armand, with Lestat looking at Armand and Armand thinking, oh my god, enjoy you. You could just ruin everything for me right now, and he doesn't.
Everything he's been playing up until this point, the facade of the stoic, wise, responsible 514-year-old vampire who sticks to his principles, has been shown to be a complete lie.
Lestat would have saved Claudia if he had the energy. I believe that to my core.
Yeah.
It's just that he had to save Louis.
For it to be Daniel Malloy, of all people, someone who, like, Daniel's in his fair share of calling out Louis, Armand, and Lestat alike, but in that moment, that rings even more sincere, where he's like, no, Lestat saved your life that night. That's just the facts of the case right there, buddy. Like, regardless of what I think about him, he's the one who's responsible for it. Oh, God, the scene that destroyed me.
What we discover in the course of the 15 episodes of these two guys is that they have such profound love for each other, but they are really capable of hurting each other in unspeakable ways.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that that's where they get to in the final embrace in New Orleans. I don't want to speak for them because we don't hear what they say. As an audience member, I see them forgiving each other for what they've done.
Don't make me cry.
She looked at me at the end. It was a beautiful ending for this whole chaotic revenge Louis that we see in those last couple of episodes. Yeah.
It's a beautiful scene. And yeah, there's
the
things
vulnerability.
Said
I love it.
At the end that nobody will ever know other than me and Sam.
I didn't verbalize it, and I hate to take credit for what Jacob Anderson just said there, but I loved how we got our bit. That was for us. And then those final moments as the hurricane rips through and they're drowned out. Like, yeah, whether it was I love you, whether it was I'm sorry, whatever it was, like that's for them. We don't need that. That's for them. We don't. It's all right.
In this scene, we understand that Malloy is a vampire.
Yep.
And I'm
Love
very
it.
excited about that as a fan.
The reveal really happens in a beat. It happens in the taking off of sunglasses.
I'm guessing you haven't heard from my maker.
I'd say, I mean, that's the obvious one, but I would say it happens technically before that. The ones that are more observant than I am caught it the moment you could see an inkling of his hands, but I caught it when he held up the book, and I was like, oh yeah, in town, between the sunglasses and the nails. But interesting, because it was 6 o'clock, so I guess the sun had already set wherever he is, if he was going to go on the news, like for like a live, I don't know if it was recorded or a live broadcast, but...
Eric Bogosian both was surprised and not at all when he realized that his character, Malloy, was to become a vampire.
I'm sorry you were burdened out of spite.
You get a sense in that like final interaction with them in this season that Daniel's become kind of like an annoying little brother to Louis.
You still haven't read it, have you?
Louis
getting early.
inviting of all the vampires to come and get him. It's his signing off.
I think that
Talking about taking a run at me?
he needs that friction.
Hear this now.
He
The
needs something
conflict.
to fight against.
As I said, Joel Miller said it best, you keep finding something to fight for. Man, oh man. And that was, ladies and gentlemen, season 2 of Interview with the Vampire. That was amazing. That was great. That was great television. Oh my God. Now, some of you guys and gals, before I have my final comment, some of you guys and gals have mentioned a teaser for season 3. So we gotta see this. 4 months ago, Meet the Vampire. Oh, so this is an adaptation. Some of you keep mentioning a book called The Vampire Lestat, so I assume this is literally like the adaptation of that book. Okay. A teaser for season 3. This is the official. Maybe I'll even, for funsies, maybe I'll make a separate video if that's the case to really capitalize on it. Hi, YouTube. This is my reaction. I've literally seconds ago, I finished Interview with the Vampire Season 2. I've never read the books, never watched the movie. I have a full reaction series based on seasons 1 and 2 of Interview with the Vampire. So I have, I'm caught up now with the show, and the show is gospel for me right now. So I have been told by everybody that's been along with me with the ride for seasons 1 and 2 that I have to watch the season 3 Comic-Con teaser. So without further ado, here we go.
Well, the car's on the
Car's been on the lot for hours, man.
Hey, look, if you want
Malloy?
to hear somebody knocking the window, I think he's...
What? What? You think what?
I think he's entertaining somebody right now.
Is that him? Am I crazy? Is that him? He somehow looks different, more rugged.
Do we have insurance for homicide?
The blood.
We had 3 deaths on the Banger Sisters. Don't worry about it.
That's him. Jesus Christ. Look at him.
Or is he a stand-in?
Okay, let's go.
Wow, Elton John.
Hi, Mark Johnson. I'm the executive producer. We talked on the phone a couple of...
Oh my god, wait, no, it's the guy. I know I recognize his voice. He's the one at all behind the scenes. He's literally, oh my god, how meta are we getting here? Is this like supernatural Bobby Seaner levels of...
Bob, dude, what the hell, right?
Eric, thanks for coming.
Of course.
I know you're busy. It means a lot that we can still, call on.
Yeah, Misha, right?
Oh, I know. It's just awful.
Oh, it's totally awful, yeah. Hey, got us the front page of Variety, though. Did you see that?
Front page, really?
Yeah.
But tragic.
Yeah, tragic. That's what I was going to say.
Get out of
really
town.
Excited about the
I don't remember, yeah.
documentary.
Damn. The midriff.
Man, thanks for the tickets last night. Great show.
Yo.
45 minutes and he's gone.
Who the f are you?
This is Christine Clare, Mr. Lioncourt's lawyer.
Hair and makeup now.
Lawyer.
Do I look like I need you?
Damn. Diva to the end. Diva every
There's
day.
a goblet on the table.
You don't like the goblet? Can we get rid of the goblet, please? Thank you. We need to wire you for sound. I hope you don't mind. The camera we're going to be using is called an Interrotron. I'll be sitting here, but you'll see my face in the camera. Like we're talking to
I love that, like, doing all this, but, like, Daniel Malloy is still conducting the whole orchestra here.
each other, and you don't have to just stare at an empty camera lens.
Your sound man is
Amazing.
dehydrated.
We'll get him some water. Get him some water, please.
All right, let's go, people. 43 minutes.
Shut up. Go.
We're rolling.
101, take 1, 8 p.m. only.
The vampire Lestat. Daniel, wait, hang on. And he has the book, too? There's so many, oh my god, there's so many Easter eggs here. Hang on, wait.
101, take 1, 8 p.m. only.
The vampire Lestat, Daniel Malloy, and Jay Feldman. He has a tattoo that says... he has this... he has a tattoo that says Armand told the truth. Get out of town. What's this logo about, though? What's this logo, huh?
Only.
And action.
And he
Okay, we're going to
has
start. Could you
Malloy's
state your
book.
name for the camera?
Justin Bieber.
Sick.
I see you have my book there. What do you think of... Sorry. Excuse me. Give me a second here.
Daniel, are you okay?
I am the vampire Lestat.
Why are we pushing?
I'm immortal. More or less. The light of the sun.
Somebody get him a glass of water?
The
Oh, boy.
sustained heat of an intense fire. These things might destroy me, but then again, they might not.
The vampire Lestat returns. Of course he does. Oh boy. Alright, here we go. Everybody get ready to write your fan fiction, huh? Oh no. Is it getting hot in here, ladies? Is this me? The definition of androgynous over here.
My pretty baby, I got long fangs. Come appraise me, bring your long steaks. That doesn't faze me. I'm an actor in my makeup. I get fatter when we break up.
Lord.
What does it matter who I take her?
It's giving, what are those, like, the kind of documentary movies that are famous where it's like this is
Another face, another year, another place, another tear. Pick up the pace, rack up the fears. Now I have it.
oh, all purple now. And what's that symbol, huh? And do we have a projected date, by the way? the Comic-Con Season 3 teaser. Are we to assume it's next year? So the color palette's changed. So it says new season. So are they going to say it's Season 3? Or are they going to just merely say, oh, no, it's a, whatchamacallit, it's the same universe, but it's going to be like a new show of sorts. I would think they would just do, well, it says Season 3 right there. I'm an idiot. So very curious. So Daniel Malloy, unless it was, oh, Discord, I'm sorry about that. For the sake of it being a Comic-Con meta teaser trailer, it seems like Daniel Malloy might be like helping him run this whole like series of interviews as he goes into his, I guess he's like a rock star now. He said he was going to go on tour, right? Because I was curious, like, so are him and Louis an item, or do they just kind of like make amends and go about their separate ways to go live their own lives respectfully? Let's stop doing the most as usual, having a whole setup for the interview compared to Louis just being recorded and documented. Sam Reed was born in Play Lestat. I'm sorry, let me mute Discord again real quick. This is too many thoughts, man. I mean, again, what I always say is the perks of pausing while you're recording and while I'm doing this is that I can kind of discuss my thoughts in the moment as the show progresses. Season 2, overall, Season 2. I agree. I think it's as good as Season 1 was. Season 2, even better. Loved it. Very appropriate way the story unfolded. Appropriate ending. Daniel Malloy being a vampire now. Cool, hell yeah. Made out of spite, sure, but I feel like he's going to make the best of it now. Louise said at the start of the show, or toward the start, where he said, you know, if you ask me now, I think I would give it to you anyway. So we're all in a better headspace to move forward. Even if Louis and Lestat aren't together, I'm okay with that. Here's the thing. When it comes to the character of Lestat, I think I feel about all these characters kind of the same way. I lean towards Louis up there for reasons that, I mean, I'm kind of biased in that we follow him the closest throughout this entire journey, right? So I feel like I'm more sympathetic overall towards his plight. But Lestat, I've come around to Lestat for sure. I condemned him, what was it, episode 6? I condemned him after the whole domestic assault issue that one night. And even with further context, he's no angel. He's not innocent. But then again, as many of you have been quick to point out, none of them are, right? If I kind of operate in the headspace of they're all these flawed people that have made mistakes, but ultimately feel genuinely remorseful for what they've done, except for Armand. I mean, well, no, I shouldn't say that. Armand does feel remorse for his actions, but at the same time, we already discussed that. The tricky situation of balancing his love for the Coven with his love for Louis. I get why he did what he did, but it's still messed up. And for him not to at least eventually tell Louis the truth about what happened, to hide that from him. Well, meanwhile, Lestat did not hide the truth. He just let Louis figure it out himself, which I guess kind of inadvertently is hiding it in a way. I don't know. You can make arguments about that all night long. I've come around more to Lestat. I like all of them as characters for in their own right. I believe the love is there. It's a complicated triangle, but I think between Lestat and Louis, or Louis and Armand, I definitely think that Louis and Lestat, it's the more, that's the canon ship for me for sure. Having more context clears things up, and I can accurately approach all this with a clearer head overall. And yeah, I definitely like Lestat a lot more than I did after season 1, I think. But again, it's because more information was revealed, and I know more. I have more context. I have more narrative at my disposal here. But if this is going to be a season all about Lestat, I would love to get firsthand accountings from him. I'm sure he's a diva, right? He's just an old queen. It's great. He has a habit of embellishing on certain things, but every now and then we do get those kernels and nuggets of truth and profound revelations. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it for sure. Love the show, love its characters, for better or for worse. Even with the Coven, even with Santiago or whoever, or Claudia or Madeline, I'll always play devil's advocate. I can see both sides of a situation. I stand by my initial outburst and reaction at Lestat. His behavior in season 1, I still stand by it. None of these people are perfect, but especially with my condemnation of Lestat, like, man, it's so hard because you want to like him and you get why he acts the way that he does and why he did what he did and why he's the kind of person that he is. Doesn't excuse the behavior, but it does answer for a lot of it. But anyway, if we're going to operate under the mindset of not going to justify these characters' actions and just operate under instead, oh, this is a show about very flawed creatures, basically, that all love and have rage and hate, but also desire and lust, then I think if you approach the show again, which I'm going to be watching the show again in its entirety when I show my gal pal and other people 100% for sure, because I got to spread the gospel now. Re-entering the show with that I don't want to say corrected headspace, but with a better set of like guidelines and expectations of kind of, okay, well, not going to be human morality that we're kind of judging all this on, but more creature feature, more that vampire headspace. But I'm very anxious to rewatch the show again through that different colored lens, if that makes any sense. That's all the time we have for tonight. I'm sure this is the longest episode I've made yet for a majority of reasons. Again, to all that participated in the Instagram giveaway, thank you. I will be DMing you very soon after I upload this, if I haven't already. I would love to do more giveaways in the future. I just want to, like I said, I want to give back any way that I possibly can to the community that has shown so much love and support. You guys and gals have come forward. You've shared your stories. I'm glad that hopefully I can destigmatize a lot of what society says is not okay to talk about or to feel. A lot of different ways to approach that, but I'm glad we can all come together and have this space where we can really appreciate, enjoy these things, and relate them to our own humanity in our life. Because funny enough, as much as they call themselves monsters, these creatures of the night, these vampires, are quite human in their own way. What else is there to say? As always, Instagram, MovieMan101 Pro is where I have the socials over there. I try to game whenever I can, minimum once a week, but that's over on twitch.tv/MovieMan101. Some of you I've seen, I recognize the usernames. I even had somebody that's username was like Daniel Malloy IRL or something like that over on Twitch. Thank you for the follow. Hopefully we can catch one of the streams. My bread and butter is YouTube. I've been doing it for damn close to 14, I'm somewhere between 14 and 15 years now. I keep losing track. I started back in 2011, and look how far we've come. Thank you for the over 5,000 subscribers. Thank you to all the support. Just you being here, watching, liking, especially commenting. Whether you're telling me, oh, good catch, Movie Man, or whether you're commenting being like, you fucking idiot, how could you miss this? And like, please keep it all coming. I will be doing a live stream probably after I move. I got a lot on my plate right now, but I got some recordings coming up. I have to move to a new location. But once I have the new office set up, I will be doing a live stream where I go through and we're going to discuss the show, talk about theories. I guess if you guys want to discuss the books, you can. I'll be definitely responding to and going over comments and trying to get my head straight, screwed on properly. My entire compendium, over 2,200 videos of content, is all over on YouTube. If you haven't already discovered it, feel free to peruse. I've tried to organize it into playlists as well. I believe the next show that I'll be starting will be Dark. If I can afford to split the time, I also want to do Mr. Robot, and I have some other shows that I personally would also very much like to watch as well for my YouTube channel. But plenty of content in the future. When Severance Season 2 starts up in January, I will be watching that. And whenever they decide to release Interview with the Vampire Season 3, I will 100% be doing week-to-week reactions for that. What more is there to say? Again, I cannot express enough. I hope, if you guys were just here for Interview with the Vampire, I understand. I'm glad that we were able to have this journey. Hopefully I lived up to the expectations. Thank you for being here for this. I do hope that you guys and gals will stick around for the other series and such, and we can continue to build this community and to enjoy art, basically, and have these discussions. And hopefully my reactions will keep doing something for you, I hope. But if not, I bid you adieu, mon ami. It's been a pleasure. Stay tuned for the next episode of whatever show we end up watching or reacting to. But I love you all. Can't express the gratefulness enough. I'll see you in the next one, and as always, goodbye, travelers.